10, 15 years ago won't buy much of anything here today.
And why the millennial generation is starting to give up because they can't afford to get a good job or own a house.
8 million Venezuelans voting for this assembly, saying it's actually less than 3.
It is. And people are going to start rioting in the streets.
Was reported to have asked Putin for military support that would help him stay in power.
We will make America safe again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
And they ignore him. And 8 more years goes by till Bernie himself finally admits to his sons, hey, I've been running a Ponzi scheme.
Does its dominance mean it can use the alliance for its own ends?
Since 1981, bond yields, also known as coupon rates, have just gone down and down and down.
The Federal Reserve note will be your biggest financial liability.
RTD Live Talk. We're officially live. Excited to have a guest join us this Friday afternoon. And so, as always, I'll give it a second before we get into today's discussion. But more importantly, just wanted to put an opportunity out there to you guys that I've been talking about for quite some time now. So I figured now's the time to have you guys tune in and ask questions directly to find out more for those that are interested. So let me check in with the chat, see who's joined us thus far. And also, if we have any new viewers to the channel, I want to definitely make sure I give you a shout out in the chat here. So let me know where you're watching from. So we got Low Blood Pressure from Corpus Christi, Texas. We got David. How you doing, my friend? And it says, Spirit King, how you guys doing? James, how is everyone here? So let's get right into it. So basically, today I'm going to put up on my screen and welcome officially to the chat, Mr. Brian McGinty. So Brian, welcome to RT Live Talk. How you doing this afternoon / evening for you?
I'm doing okay. It's 5 p.m. here now, so I've just I'm having a good day. I've just had some work done on my teeth, so it's a little bit of a sore jaw, but it's okay. It's okay. I'm alive.
That's okay. Good, my friend. So yeah, so thanks for joining me. And so we actually spoke, had an interview several months ago, and since then I have had more of a chance to find out more, dig in deeper, and actually, the whole part of rethinking a dollar is encouraging people to think outside of the current paradigm and prepare for life beyond the Federal Reserve note, or depending on what country you're in, whatever your national currency might be, by getting physical. So today we're going to talk physical, we're going to talk digital, we're going to talk about opportunities, because I think right now, like never before, is a great time for people to be open to things, not necessarily giving advice, but this is just all two people's opinion going back and forth and sharing information. So before we dive any further, I want to make sure we're streaming good. And so, Brian McGinty, give us a little bit about your background, how you got involved with Karatbars, and just go into some of the nitty-gritty of what Karatbars actually is and trying to do by disrupting and putting physical gold in people's hands. Give us a little insight.
Well, I've been with direct sales companies I was mainly in property for the first part of my life. I'm about 41 now, so over the past 20 years, I've worked in property, number one. That was my main thing. I worked in insurance for a while, but then in 2008 we had the whole big crash happened. So I ended up then getting into, I had my own business, but then through no fault of my own, I lost that. But around about that time, about 6 years ago, someone told me about this company in Germany who was trying to reintroduce gold as a savings solution for the general public. The owner, the CEO, founder of the company, he knew that wealthy people were able to buy gold because they could buy ounces and Krugerrands and bars and things like that. But what about the everyday person? Why could his brother, why could his uncle not just go and, if he earns $100 this week, buy $10 worth of gold? So his thinking was, let's get this down to a manageable amount and let's get gold back to the people, back to pre-1971. I think it was around about 5% of the population had gold then. Now it's not 0.1% in the UK or something. So people haven't touched physical gold for decades, really. Mm-hmm. So his idea was, go to the refinery. Let's go to the refinery. We went to the refinery. They said, yes, we can get the gold down to 1 gram for you. So we thought, well, 1 gram's a bit fiddly, so we'll put it into the card. The card can become the certificate. And then we can add extra security features because there's a lot of fake gold out there. So gold only came from an LBMA accredited refinery. It's 999.9. It's 24 karat. Our gold has never been forged. So the company started in 2011. I came into the company in 2013. So I'm 6 years now, 6 years next month. It's my only business. It's the only thing I do. The gold has hologram, serial number. Karatbars logo actually stamped into the gold during the manufacturing process. So it's completely fraud proof. We've never had our gold copied or anything like that. So that's how the idea started. There's one person in Germany back in 2011, and it's now grown to over 600,000 customers and affiliates in, I think we're 136 countries, something like that. So piece by piece, we're reintroducing people into gold, reintroducing people back into savings. About 2 years ago, we got the idea of let's get the 1 gram down further. Let's get it down to 0.1 gram. So we released these notes. So this is a 0.1 gram note, 0.2 gram note. You can see the gold in the center here. 0.4, you can see the 4 pieces of gold, and 0.6. Okay, so this means, especially for countries in Africa where maybe 40 euros for this is too much. Maybe they can afford €4 a month. So it doesn't matter what your income is. Now, every single person on this planet can afford to have their own physical gold. Now, obviously, depending on someone's personal circumstance, they might not want it in their home, so they can keep it digitally with Karatbars for free. Or if they don't want to keep it digitally, then they can just simply get it delivered. We FedEx deliver to every single country. So it's around about $20 for a FedEx delivery. So we're not saying to people, you have to store the gold. We're not saying you have to take it physically. We're just giving people the option. So that's really what Karatbars, what the whole company is all about. We're reaching a lot of people. We're reaching people through our digital card pay system now, where you can actually buy your gold. And I could now transfer $100 worth of gold to you, and you could get it physically delivered in the US. So we're making it really, really easy to have your physical gold, but then also to turn it into fiat currency, turn it into Bitcoin, do whatever you want with it as well. So it's a simple enough mission. It's a big mission. But we're growing at a faster pace than ever since I came into the company, you know?
Yeah. Now, right as you were mentioning, a thought came to mind as to why, this type of thing is something that I believe can be important for a lot of people. And so I actually pulled up an article here, and it's as of yesterday, it came out, and it's from Bloomberg, and it's entitled, "Central Banks Are Ditching the Dollar for Gold." And so this is an actual news report. And so I've noticed more and more as the whole rethinking the dollar message becomes more prominent now. More people, more central banks are getting into gold. So there's more people getting into gold, but the actual citizens themselves. And so there's not many companies that I've been aware of that actually offer people a chance to get something affordable in their hands. And so just articles like this, we're going to see more of them, and we're going to have more mainstream people talking about gold. And so now,
well, if you think about it, 60% of all the gold on Earth is held by central banks. That's a fact.
Yeah.
And they're buying more gold this year than they have since 1947 or something, right?
Yeah.
So you go and put your money in the bank. They buy gold. They get their 10% a year, and they give you 1. That's a great deal for the bank. It's not a good deal for me.
Right.
So all we're saying is don't do what the banks say. Do what the banks do. And if they're buying gold, you buy gold.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But before, as I said, there was no possibility. We're just giving every single person. It doesn't matter if you make $10 a month, you can buy $1 worth of gold from us. If you make $100 a month, you can buy $10 of gold. It's making it freely available to everyone. You know.
Yeah, I agree 100%. So let me check in with the chat and find out if there are any questions. As always, the goal is, for those that are watching, for those that might have questions or anything of that nature, feel free to ask via chat, or there's a number above my head, which I forgot to even mention, 313-462-0027. Give us a call. We won't be on long because, today is still getting started for me and it's coming to an end for you, Brian. So, but just want to give people an opportunity to find out more about it, just because I've mentioned it over the last couple of months sporadically or whatnot, and referencing the RTD Gold team, where it's a way to work directly with the company through RTD. So want to make it available to everybody. So let me see if we have any questions here. We have more people tuning in. We got R. Raffman, Spirit King, Jim. We got Gold and Silver Man. How do we sign up? So Bitcoin Black. The question is, how do you sign up? So beneath this video here for the RTD Gold team, that's the link here that'll be a part of the whole Karatbars situation. So you can find out more information at the link beneath this video here. Now, moving forward, I want to talk a little bit about the vision for Karatbars. So Mr. Harold Seitz, the starter, the founder. So I've been following more and watching more of the content that comes out through Karatbars. Now, just as of last month in Dubai was a a group meeting and whatnot, and so a lot of things were announced. Give us a little insight as to some of the things that's coming, and it has to do with the digital side of things, where you can, not only get physical, but then you can also take advantage of digital opportunities.
Well, up until last year, we were very much solely focused on physical gold itself. Okay. There was a lot of conversations out there about blockchain. We weren't really that interested in blockchain because we were more into the honesty side of gold. But the more Harold looked at blockchain, he realized that blockchain is a very honest thing as well. Now, we already had the gold, so it made sense then, if we were going to go onto blockchain, then why not have our own gold-backed coin? Okay, so that was the idea. So we launched our own cryptocurrency last year, and we had 12 billion coins. We sold out in about 12 weeks. We raised over $100 million. So it just goes to show how much pure interest there was in there. We then went on to launch another coin. That one sold out so quick. That money was used to fuel different parts of the business. Another coin was launched, NKCB. And basically what that's done is it's allowed the company to invest in mines, invest in our own crypto phone, which is going to be our own crypto wallet. The phone is already developed. The phone is already on sale. What else? We have our own K Merchant terminal, which is basically, it's really, really interesting because this is going to allow shops and businesses to accept either our gold or our crypto coins or Bitcoin or Ethereum in their shops and businesses. So why is this so different what we're doing? Basically, if you're a shopkeeper now anywhere in the world, you can download our software. You can have it on your Android device or your POS terminal. Someone walks in and they want to spend some Bitcoin, okay? The reason the shopkeepers have not wanted to accept Bitcoin up to this point is because if they accepted the Bitcoin, by the time they could change it into fiat, there might have been a 5% drop and that might have wiped out their profits, so they weren't interested. What we're doing different is someone walks in and they want to spend their Bitcoin, they give the shopkeeper Bitcoin, but immediately that shopkeeper can decide if he wants to turn that immediately into fiat in US dollars or euros or whatever. So on his terminal, he says, okay, I've accepted one Bitcoin, but on his screen, he can say, convert to US dollars. So he immediately converts that to US dollars at a fixed price, because through our own exchange, we send the Bitcoin to our exchange, we exchange it into US dollars and send it back to the customer's terminal. So for the first time, really, any shopkeeper, any online, any offline business can accept Bitcoin at the exact price to get it at, or Ethereum or our own cryptocurrencies. And that's going live on our blockchain in October, on our own blockchain. As well as that, we have our own crypto phone, which we launched in Dubai. So it's a cryptocurrency phone with its own integrated hardware wallet. The phone can work off normal GSM networks, and the big thing is it can also work on satellite as well. It's completely encrypted, so encrypted calls worldwide, and the cost for the phone is going to be around about $6 per month. So extremely good value as well. We are selling literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these phones already. I had one customer this week bought 75 of them this week, just one customer. So there's a huge market out there for privacy. People want to send their files through their phone. They want to use their cryptocurrency wallets securely. They want to make encrypted voice calls for security. That's all possible with this phone as well. So we have that. We have our ATMs, which are completely developed and will be going to shops this year. We have our K Merchant, which is live, and of course we're still selling literally millions of euros of cash gold every single month as well. Just in my own group, we did over 2 million turnover this month already. So Karatbars is just exploding in terms of the reach. We can reach now. Everyone has a phone. Everyone has one of these in their pocket. We really are now reaching every single high street, every single shop, every single person now worldwide. So it is growing at a phenomenal rate now at the moment.
So I actually have the Impulse K1 phone on here. So I definitely the concept of privacy is what this is all geared towards, because I've been doing my homework and whatnot, and so I personally, because of the whole privacy nature and it being a cold wallet and having all the technology to actually not necessarily have to utilize your current cell phone carrier. That's what's more exciting about me. So definitely, I personally, because I'm a part of everything, will be getting one. But the whole concept of privacy, most people don't realize how important that is, especially when it comes to your money. And so gold, of course, for those that know, gold is money. And so if you can have digital storage all on your phone and it have a separate link from your carrier, like, I use a carrier here that's pretty popular, but yet I personally would love to be able to get away from that. So the whole Karatbars opportunity with the phone, I think that's one thing that's intriguing as well. Now,
well, you can use this. You can use your own SIM card.
Yeah.
You can put your own SIM card in. It works iOS apps. It works Android apps. So if you're an Android person, you can still use it as an Android. If you're an iOS person, you can use iOS. But you also have the option of flipping onto the satellite blockchain-based side of the phone, which gives you the complete encryption and privacy for all those other things you do.
Yeah.
If you have both, you have the best of both worlds, really.
Yeah, interesting. Now, to move on further, as always, if anyone has any questions, I'll definitely check in with the chat and see if there's any questions. But more importantly, if you want to talk directly or ask a question, don't be afraid to call in, and definitely we'll get you on here. But one thing I want to talk about is the whole ATM aspect. And so, because I had someone ask me a couple of weeks ago about the actual physical bank, I guess located in Miami. So give us a little insight about the actual physical bank and what type of operations that go out of there, and can people actually redeem and get paper in their hands? What's that like?
The idea, and basically the company has got a license for a crypto bank in Miami, but that won't happen until blockchain goes live. It won't end. It won't go. That will not be this year. Okay. But that's not really the most important thing. I know people go bank, but many banks are not physical places where you walk in. There is a physical premise in Miami. I've been there. I've been to it. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't mean that people are going to walk in off the street and start exchanging gold. And like, it's not like a physical bank like we would know our local Wells Fargo or something. Yeah. It's not that type of thing. Where people are going to exchange their currency for gold and vice versa will be through our K merchants. So let's say your local K merchant has an ATM. The ATM will be in there. He can go in and put in his credit card, debit card, and take out these notes. Okay, he will be able to take those notes out. He will be able to put his credit card, debit card, and turn it into Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever. Mm-hmm. The shopkeepers, if someone has these at home, the shopkeeper can accept these over the counter. He can then go and fill his own ATM. Mm-hmm. So the shopkeeper will make money from having this ATM in his store. Mm-hmm. So it will be it's like a popcorn machine. You get the popcorn machine, you fill it with popcorn, you make money from the popcorn. Yeah. It's the same idea with the ATM. So the shopkeepers will buy the ATM. Karatbars won't be going around filling these up to make money for Karatbars. This will be an asset for that shop.
Yeah. So basically, the K merchants aspect is the gateway that allows people to get physical gold in their hands, as well as utilize the cryptocurrency aspect, all from the ATM aspect. And yes. So,
even if there's not a K merchant in your town or area, you can go onto the Karatbars exchange, which is our own exchange, mm-hmm. and you can, on the Karatbars exchange, you can convert your gold into Bitcoin, into KBC, into Ethereum, on our exchange right now, and then do a withdrawal. If you want to do a withdrawal in US dollars, you can do a withdrawal from US dollars into your own bank account. That's already live. Mm-hmm. So right now, somebody can change Bitcoin into gold very, very quickly on our exchange. They can change Bitcoin into one of our crypto coins. They can change Bitcoin into gold, for example. Mm-hmm. So all those options are already live. This is not something that's happening in the future. Our exchange is already live and working.
Yeah, interesting.
And again, as more people know the exchange, more people will use it.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And so let me check back in via chat. Let me see here. It says, crypto redeemable for gold, it won't work. Who is auditing them? So one of the questions here, just out of curiosity, a person is referencing the whole redeemability of the cryptocurrency in the future, aspect. Shine a little light as far as the redeemability, and someone is concerned about the whole auditing process of validating the cryptocurrency with the physical gold. Give us a little layout as to how that's going to play out.
Well, the Karatbars International is it's a publicly audited company in Germany. It's completely public information. You can go and find that information you want online. It's in the German Gazette every year. Mm-hmm. The physical gold itself, for the coin backing, there's 6.5 tons of it in Hong Kong in our place. Again, that information's on live. If somebody wants to go and do the research, they can do that.
Yeah.
The most important thing, all I can tell you is after 6 years with the company is, if I have some gold now and I want it delivered, I go to my back office, I press delivery request, I get an email from FedEx, and it arrives in a nice box at my door. Yeah. People have been doing this since 2011. This is not some ICO where we hope to do this in the future. We've been doing this for 9 years. If somebody, for example, now wants to get their gold, redeem it for cash on the Karatbars exchange, or I could get some gold now some of my gold on my account, I could now redeem it for Bitcoin and just withdraw the Bitcoin into my own account. I could turn it into US dollars and do a bank transfer into my bank.
Yeah.
You know, I personally, I'm not worried so much about how Karatbars audited or who audits them or anything else.
Yeah.
The company is not a new company. It's a 9-year-old company. It's trading successfully all around the world. We've worked with FedEx and MasterCard for 9 years. You know, as far as I would be concerned, FedEx and MasterCard have much better lawyers than me. And if they're happy with Karatbars, then I'd be happy too. But again, my own experience is after 6 years, I have never had a customer not get their gold. I have never had a customer not get a delivery. I have 23,000 customers in 130 countries.
Yeah.
You know, it's that I would accept that question better if we were a new company hoping to do this in the future, but we've been doing this for 9 years already without incident. So that's the important thing.
Yeah, and so for me personally, I've been a part of it for over a year now, but really got involved in the last several months. So I personally, so one thing that's interesting is that the packaging aspect is real pretty, and so actually,
everything's high quality.
So I got like the box right here. So I anticipate whenever FedEx knocks on my door, I usually got a good package. So I definitely have enjoyed the process of being a part of it, just because I think for the Rethinking the Dollar audience, it's been a great way to just present an option. And so it's one of the things where you don't have to do it. It's just it's whatever. The show goes on with or without you, but I think it's something that is affordable and it's definitely something everybody can do.
And the other point as well is it's really important. If someone registers for a free Karatbars account today, right, it costs them nothing to register for the account. It's free, okay?
Right.
They could buy. This costs €4.44, which is about $5, right? They could buy one of these next week. They might not do anything for 6 months. They could buy another one. They might do nothing for 6 months and buy another one. There's no fees. There's no subscriptions. There's no charges. This is not like some MLM thing where you have to pay a monthly fee or a monthly subscription. You can buy as much gold as you like, as often as you like. You can withdraw it and get it delivered to your house whenever you can get one of these delivered. You can go now and buy a 0.1 gram for $5 and get it delivered. You'd be nuts because it costs you $15 for the delivery.
Yeah, exactly.
But you can do that. So, at the end of the day, this is completely no pressure. I have customers with me since 2013. They might buy a little bit of gold every 6 months. They might buy a little bit of gold every Christmas. Everything is completely optional. The storage is free for as long as you like. And then all you pay for is your delivery. So this is not, and if anybody wants to check, gold price is €44 is probably about $46 or something for 1 gram of 24 carats.
Close to about 50. So about 50-ish, give or take, right now. Yeah. So one of the things that I talk about when it comes to the RTD Gold team is just the process of having it automated. And so the process of being able to just set a certain amount that you might want to do monthly and not think about it. And that's personally how I prefer to do it, just because outside of choosing to buy certain amounts as opposed to just letting some things happen automatically, don't worry about it. And I look at it, it's to me it's similar as like automatic withdrawal from your paycheck. Like you got a lot of things that's automatically taking out your paycheck. Why not? I look at it as paying myself by just automating something on the side. So definitely a good way to just do something different. So, but
I think we spoke about this before. I said to you, everybody has car insurance, everybody has health insurance, everybody's got pet insurance.
Yeah.
What's your money insurance?
Yeah, good point. A lot of people don't look at it like that, and that's like especially here in America, the United States of America, because we are the leading currency. We got the reserve currency for now. Everything looks to be good on the surface, but from all these stories that come out, we know that behind the scene things are changing. And in a worst case scenario, for those countries that are having problems, I talk about them often. Venezuela, especially Argentina. So I have friends in Argentina. I lived in Argentina, so I study that a lot. And by the end of this year, Argentina will definitely have some much more serious problems to where they themselves would benefit greatly as the peso is going to just basically tank even more so. So that's just, if you weren't in the U.S., if you were in those countries, you would be appreciative of any type of option or opportunities to get outside your own currency. And so I think eventually every nation is going to have their own issues, but, that's another story. So
I have a team in Puerto Rico, and they had a hurricane last year, and in the Puerto Rican shops, they had signs up, no debit cards or credit cards, only cash, gold and silver accepted. And they were using their cash gold to buy milk and bread and things.
Yeah.
That's not That's not a million miles from the US, is it? You know, one natural disaster, and you've got no internet. Well, you imagine everybody stood outside Walmart and they've all got their debit cards and their credit cards, and you walk up with some gold. You're getting the milk first.
Yeah.
I mean.
And I think everyone would appreciate and can recognize the value in gold in and of itself, even in the smallest form. Like, I just did a video about the Zimbabwe situation, and it started to pick up again. So Zimbabwe is about to go through another issue right now as we speak. And so in a certain village, shopkeepers, merchants, and just farmers would only take gold. Like, you know, so they had people out. The sad part is they had children out panning, they had families out panning, and all it took, and according to the video, it's called bread for gold or something like that, bread for gold. But the minimum to get some grain was 0.1 grams of gold. So you had people walking around with these notes, and all they had was a speck of dust in their hand, but they were actually able to feed their family. And so I'm like, you know, those are things that we could never imagine happening here, but it's happening. So just the fact it's happening on this planet lets us know it's possible. So yeah, so just more and more and more. But anyway, I can ramble on forever. But let me get to some questions, or if you got anything to say, feel free to chime in. But let me see. It says, where are the conversations saved? Are they, what was that? The triangle was moved from the phone. Is the phone inoperative? And so question is, if the triangle part is removed from the phone, is the phone inoperable? And so I showed a picture about...
That's the encrypted side of the phone would be yes. So you wouldn't be able to do that. But because of the way the phone technology is, if you were to lose that, if you were to misplace it or whatever, you can have backups. So you can have 5-6 backups for your little key.
Mm-hmm.
You could have a backup at home in your safe. So if you lost one, you just get the other backup out, you put it in, and all your information's back again. It's blockchain based, remember?
Right. So that little triangle portion, of which I don't have the phone up now, but that's the the private key, or what? That's the privacy feature.
That's your private key. Yeah.
Interesting.
And you need to put that in, and you need to decrypt it for the whole thing to work. Yes. So you put that in, the phone's decrypted, it's yours. But again, if some people always say, well, what if I lost the little triangle? Well, you can have 3, 4, 5. You can have as many little triangles as you like. You can get extra ones.
Mm-hmm.
But you can just keep those in different places or whatever. Then you get another phone, stick it in, all your data back to as it was before.
Interesting. So definitely, I think a part of the whole next wave of technology, the whole decrypted or encrypted phones that promotes privacy. I think there will be a push for privacy more so as people find out the importance of it. And you know, I think it's interesting that the K1 Impulse phone is definitely going to lead the way, because not only can you get away from your own carrier, you can go back and forth. So
yeah, you can go back and forth. Like I had a phone call from a UK football club this week, a soccer club, and they were interested in this phone because they have agents all over the world, right? So the agents are always going with and they can't get signal, and they can't get coverage, and their roaming fees and all this. But someone is intercepting the calls between the soccer club and the agents, and people are finding out who they're going to see. Mm-hmm. So this phone would completely solve all that. It's got no roaming. They can use it anywhere in the world. They can be in the middle of the Sahara Desert and still pick up a satellite. It doesn't matter. And every single call is encrypted. Every single file is encrypted. Every single email is encrypted. So no one can hack that information. And that's really important for a soccer club who's trying to secretly sign players, scout players, all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So there's lots of real world business applications for this, you know.
Yeah, I agree 100%. So as always, I have Brian McGinty joining us, giving us a little insight into the whole cryptocurrency gold aspect. And so I think we touched on it, but yet the redeemability aspect. And so the KCB coin, there's a time frame, there's a map of things that's coming in the future. Lay out a little information as to some of the things and developments outside of the blockchain aspect. You got the K merchants, you got the paper, you got the physical gold, you got the digital side. What's the time frame as to the vision for the company and actually making the cryptocurrency side of things redeemable, where people can actually, what's the ratios moving forward?
Well, the KBC coin's already on many exchanges. We're already on 6 of the top 10 cryptocurrency exchanges on earth. If you go to CoinMarketCap, you can put in KBC coin and you can see the coin there. The coin was sold last year at half a cent, so half of 1 cent.
Mm-hmm.
It's now floating at around about 4 cents, so it's 8 times more valuable than it was 12 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
If I have got those coins, I could now put them on CoinFlipper or any one of the exchanges that's on there. Bitforex, CoinSuper, there's different ones, HitBTC, we're on all those exchanges. If I wanted to convert those coins into another cryptocurrency now, or US dollars, I can do that. If I put my KBC onto our own Karatbars exchange, I can convert that KBC into US dollars, or I can convert it into gold if I wanted to and get that gold delivered again. So it's really, really simple to convert the coins into other cryptocurrencies or gold or cash. It's pointless having a cryptocurrency if you can't pay your rent and you need to get some cash. What's the point in that? So we're making it really easy. Like where else in the world can you go now and turn some Bitcoin into physical gold and get it delivered? Where else can you do that? We allow that right now. Our second crypto coin is still in an ICO phase, the KCB. That ICO phase will finish whenever our mainnet goes live later on in the year. And again, that coin then will be convertible into, again, it will merge with the other coin. And again, the other coin is ready on the exchanges, so you can convert that into Bitcoin, Ethereum, whatever you like. This is not some future thing that's happening in terms of our coins. You can convert KBC now. It's on 6 of the top 12 exchanges in the world. You go to CoinMarketCap, punch it in, take a look at all the markets that it's already on. You know.
Yeah. Interesting. Now, so someone has a question here, and it's more so like an honest question. It says, 1 Bitcoin is worth more than 1 ounce of gold. So why would you trade your Bitcoin for gold? And so obviously a cryptocurrency enthusiast. So just talk about the relationship between Bitcoin itself and gold.
Oh, it all depends on your own personal circumstance. It depends on whether you want to have everything in your life put into Bitcoin or you want to diversify and have some in gold. Personally, I've got some Bitcoin, I've got KBC coins, I've got gold, I've actually got some silver. I don't even sell silver, but I've got some silver. So I've got some in cash. So I'm not one of these people that says, oh, you should spend all your money in Bitcoin or you should spend all your money in gold. That's daft. But if you've got all your money in Bitcoin and you've got no cash and suddenly there's power outage, well, you want to go to the supermarket, you've got no cash. Similarly, if, for example, as I think is going to happen, I think there's going to be a global currency reset. If that happens, then the value of gold will go up to meet the current financial money supply. Now, if that's the case, gold could go from $1,000 an ounce to $10,000 an ounce, between $5,000 and $10,000 an ounce. It could happen. If that happens, I'll be in a great position because guess what? I got some gold. If Bitcoin goes up 10 times, guess what? I'm in a good position because I got some Bitcoin, right? But I don't have all my eggs in one basket. So if I would say to somebody, if they've got 1 Bitcoin, that's great, but change 10% of that 1 Bitcoin into gold, and then you've got a bit of coverage for that as well. I think people like Mike Maloney, Robert Kiyosaki, all those people would all turn around and say, don't have everything in gold, have some in gold, some in silver, some in Bitcoin, some in cash. Why not? I even have some in cars, so I can drive them around as well. So, it all depends what takes your interest. You might be interested in wine. We'll put some money into wine. The only thing I would never say is have it in a bank. That's the only thing I wouldn't say is have it all in a bank.
And that's the thing, like, in this day and age now, we've been dwindled down to nothing but paper in the form of our fiat currency, but it's also done predominantly in digital currency, which is what we have in our bank accounts. And so a way of getting out of that old system, which I believe as well is coming to an end. And so not only are central banks, we got governments, and it's all being led out east. Like, and here's the thing, like the Federal Reserve has not mentioned anything about gold. They don't mention gold at all because they have the monopoly of the dollar. So they don't need to even have any type of competition. But we got the Chinese, we got Russian, we got India, we got all them countries repatriating their gold. Everyone's getting their gold out of this country here. So gold is going to be a major topic of conversation moving forward. And the sad part is most people don't know the importance of gold and utilizing some of the technologies that's linking it to other things that you can do to make it easier to just transport around. So the whole goal and rethinking it out is to educate people and just being open to other opportunities, man. That's what it boils down to.
Most people don't have gold because their big fear is, and I know this because I've been selling this stuff, people won't buy gold because the fear is, how do I turn it back into cash? That's always the fear. What do I do with it? I know there's people out there hoarding gold, but their thing is always, how do I turn it back into cash? All we've done is we've solved that problem. You can either turn it into cash, turn it into Bitcoin, turn it into Ethereum, or get it delivered. So we're on our exchange now. You have those options. So that fear now of buying gold because they can't turn it into cash quickly is gone.
Yeah.
That's the important thing.
Yeah, and another way, me personally, only turn into physical gold in an insurance policy type of form. And of course, it's my opinion. What you won't necessarily need to be touching no time soon, because at the end of the day, the nominal price of that metal will definitely go up. It will never go to zero because of our monetary system being debt-based. Everything is designed to create digits, and those digits has to be accounted for in the form of physical metals. So those metals will definitely appreciate in time to where, depending on what country you're in, you may not want to get back into your own currency. So, oh man. So
I know I keep a certain amount of cash, but that's just for emergency. But even cash, I don't even like having anything in the bank. I really don't, because I've seen it in Cyprus where they've closed the doors, locked up people's accounts. I've seen it in Greece a couple of years ago, closed the doors, locked up people's accounts. This is not third world countries. This is 2 countries in the European Union, and this has happened.
Yeah.
So anybody who's sitting there thinking, oh, well, it wouldn't happen to me, it'll not happen to Wells Fargo, they need to really wake up and just think to themselves, yes, it could happen tomorrow.
Yeah.
And it'll happen so fast that you won't have time to react.
Yeah, yeah, man, that's the whole idea of being prepared ahead of time. It was the saying, I'd rather be, 1 minute early or than 1 second later, however that goes.
Well, somebody said to me, well, what happens if nothing like that happens? What if nothing bad happens? Well, if nothing bad happens, Brian dies, Brian's children goes to the safe and they take out their gold and they keep going and they've got their backup as well. So if you've protected yourself and nothing bad happens, isn't that wonderful? Yeah. But most insurance companies don't give you the premium back if you don't use it.
Very true. That's very true.
So, but I can hand this premium on to my children. So that's and if I teach them properly, they can hand it on to their children. So isn't it a nice thing to do to protect the next generation and the generation after, not just yourself?
Yeah. So here's another question. I'm not sure if this was covered, but it says, do you own or control your gold? I control my private keys with my crypto. And I'm assuming that's referring back to that, pulling out the private key aspect for the phone aspect.
Yes, you're always I'm always in complete control of everything. I have my gold, my KBC coins, my KCB coins. I'm in complete control.
Yeah.
Of course, you have. Otherwise, there's no point. What we're trying to do is we're trying to give people complete flexibility. That's the whole issue. We're actually working on a way at the moment of people on our exchange linking that to MasterCards and Visas, so that if somebody needed to instantly, rather than withdrawing it to a bank account, if they instantly needed to withdraw it onto a card, they can do that. Now, I don't know about the US, but we have cards over here such as Revolut and Wirex. I don't know if we have those over there. But right now, I could turn some of my gold or some of my cryptocurrency into Bitcoin or Ethereum and immediately turn it into cash using these new cards that are available. So as this thing evolves, it's going to be much, much easier to turn your Bitcoin into cash anyway.
All right, and so I think with Wirex and the cards you're holding, I think they're not, to my knowledge, they're not fully operational here because of the regulation aspect. And so there's not many companies that I'm aware of in the U.S. that actually offer the interaction back and forth between your MasterCard, Visa card.
But the way of the tide's coming, that it will happen. It's on the way. You know what I mean? At the moment, we have our own Karatbars MasterCard. Now, if we can get our own Karatbars MasterCard, this is it here. That's our own MasterCard. So that's how Karatbars pay our affiliates. We get paid on that every Friday. I've been paid on that every week since 2013. It's never been a cent wrong and never been a day late. This company is ultra reliable in terms of paying its affiliates, in terms of delivering its gold, and that's all you want from a company. You want them to deliver the gold and pay the commissions. That's the most important thing. And most direct sales companies out there can't handle those two things. You know,
very true.
But we've been doing it since 2011 and doing it without any incident, without any failure on the part of that. Every customer gets the gold, every affiliate gets the commissions.
Now, as we draw towards the end, because I want to be respectful of your time, and so from the entrepreneurial business standpoint, and so the system that operates the whole machinery of being able to help other people get gold. So I personally have made it available through the RTD Gold team, ways for people to get involved, to actually get their family, friends, and loved ones involved in just getting physical. And so one thing I like about this is I don't really have to go out and just hunt people down to save in something that's going to appreciate in value anyway. So I'm a user of my product in a sense. So for those on the business side, give us a little bit about some of the breakdown of getting involved, what to expect, the process, and things of that nature.
Well, what we do in our group is we have a 35-minute presentation. Okay, so what we do is I record the presentation. I give the new affiliate, whoever it is, I give the new affiliate that presentation on their own personalized website. So it'll say John Smith, the video will be there, and your little registration button will be underneath. In that video, I explain the company, the background, the history, the coins, the gold, how you buy, step-by-step instructions. Now, all we do is we ask people to watch the video, right? We don't sell, we don't convince, we don't persuade, nothing. If somebody watches that video and they're not interested, no harm done. Okay, they've spent 35 minutes of their day. You're not spending 35 minutes of your day. You're only spending 20 seconds asking them to watch the video. And that way you don't get into any conflict, and there's none of that. You're just saying, look, have a look at this video. If you're interested, you can register. And hey, if you're not interested, no harm done. Now, if they do register, then they'll get my weekly newsletter. They can contact me for support. We help them get up and running. If they want to work online, we show them how to do that. If they want to work offline, we show them how to do that. If they want to build a group, I'll give an example. I'm going to Trinidad and Tobago on Monday. I have a team started there, and I said to them, look, if you can get a group of 200 together, that's active business partners and customers, I'll come down, I'll do a 2-day training event. So this was in January. They had 200 people within about a month and a half. So they just built fast. So I'm going down there now from Monday to Friday, and I'm going to be doing individual training events, training them on things like our Karatbars, how to buy gold, how to build their businesses, and how to all the different aspects of the business. So, and I will do that worldwide. I was in Dubai a few weeks ago. I was in Malta meeting one of my business partners at the weekend. I'm going to Cape Town in a few weeks. So we do support. We don't let people just start the business and leave them alone. We really do help and support them. And we have an online marketing system. But as I said, most in our group, I create the video, ask people to watch it, and it's a nice thing to do. If somebody's interested, they will be. If they're not interested, no harm done. Yeah. It's very, very, very relaxed, very casual.
It's informative. So we're gonna cut it short right there, Brian. I appreciate you taking time to just share what's going on and how things are moving forward. So definitely, I personally, as I mentioned, the link below for this video, those are interested. So I personally am involved as well. For those who are interested, want to contact me and find out more information, feel free to do so, or through the team, you can reach out to Brian directly. So other than that, it's been great. I think this has been a very informative little tutorial process to get people, help them to get informed as to what's going on. So Brian, I appreciate you joining us. And apart from, I don't see any last questions, I don't think. But as always, feel free to leave a comment or whatever beneath this video here. And definitely, Brian, if you don't mind checking in time to time, answering questions or whatever. And we'll go from there. So other than that, Brian, enjoy the rest of your day, my friend. It's been great hanging out. And definitely keep doing what you're doing, educating and helping people, get their weight up, as I say over here at this channel. So once again, appreciate you. Everybody be blessed, be safe. Enjoy your weekend. And other than that, just keep doing what you're doing. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Talk later, Mike.